Hi, I am Kira858, and today we're bringing you Rivenwood Academy Season 2, Episode 18. As always, here at the Cookout, we love to give support to different communities out there. So perhaps you could take a look at their channels and support them on their endeavors. We always like to give a huge shout out for is the Adrian Bear, who is running quite a few shows on their channels now. Blood of the Bayou is continuing to move forward to the end of February, and they have released 2 new series that came out. One is the Thala, a D&D game that's coming out on Friday, as well as a Fallout game that I think that happens every Wednesday. So they're of course great individuals. So if you take a look at their channels, that is the Bear Pen, that ends with an H, on both Twitter, on Twitch as well as YouTube. And of course, you can follow your Twitter if you would like as well. And next, of course, is we have Cutie Patoot, which is by Brandy Rose. And Brandy Rose, of course, is an incredible individual. She's been showing a whole bunch of different content, TTRPGs across the internet. She just started her own Twitch channel where she discusses game design, romance, TTRPG shows, and more. And you'll see her in a couple other shows as well. Like she's currently being featured in Roll20 on Halt to the West, which was actually showcased on the front page of Twitch. So yeah, definitely go ahead and support her on her channel. That is Cutie Patoot at Twitch. And last but certainly not least, definitely go ahead and follow. We have a good friend of ours. Her name is Glyza, who's, of course, the media of our shows. She's an incredible individual who is a fanatic of romance, loves romance. Her tagline is "Romance me, you cowards." So, so definitely go ahead and follow her Twitch channel, where you'll find tons of romance-based games, romance-based TTRPGs, romance books. I mean, she goes the gauntlet. And like I said, if you love romance, you're going to love her Twitch channel. So make sure to follow her on her endeavors. With that said, in terms of, that's all the shout outs we have for today. In terms of announcements, of course, Lords of Fate Room is going to be ending at the end of February. The season 2 will probably coming in towards the end of the year. We do have a couple of new shows coming out. Of course, Boss Beyond Time is coming out. Reclamation should be out around the time of this episode. Oh, no. It'll be coming out relatively soon. So, of course, keep an eye out for that on our Twitter at The Cookout TTRPG. It features many of the individuals here in this cast, and we cannot wait to show you what we've been working on there. And there's about 2 more shows that will be coming out in the near future. So just keep an eye out on our Twitter at The Cookout TTRPGs for not just TTRPG goodness, but also Die Hard Dice giveaways and even more. With that said, it's about time we transition to our intro video for Rivenwood Academy.
Behold the spellbinding abilities of Rivenwood Academy.
All right, but we are back. So with that said, Aaron, take it away.
We are going to jump right back into the story, but instead of the dungeon crawl cave setting that our players are in, we're going to be somewhere slightly different. As you know, some infinities are bigger than others, and we have the entire galaxy in front of us, but right now it's going to shrink to a somewhat smaller galaxy. Kellen, as you find yourself being taken over by petrification, your psyche is violently shoved inward as you lose the senses and like the control over your body. You find yourself kind of inside of your own head in a very kind of literal way. And it is an interesting, vast bright place. You can see as thoughts and ideas and memories and experiences all take an almost visible form to your inner eye as you see strikes of lightning and fire that move almost faster than you can see in this huge interwoven complex web of that really just makes up who you are. But as your body is stricken with petrification, the mindscape that you're kind of in begins to rend and twist and kind of tear at itself. And you find yourself struggling to keep your mind together, to keep your sense of self. So what I need you to do is roll me an intelligence saving throw. Well, actually, I need you to roll 2. What do you add for an intelligence saving throw?
+6.
For the second one, you're going to be adding +11. So please roll both of those and let me know what you get.
30-20 on the first one, and natural 20 plus 11 on the second one.
I'm telling you, the dice are the actual storytellers. We are but players on a stage. This is a beautiful moment. So you feel your psyche start to tear itself apart, and your sense of self kind of losing shape and form. And like you've seen like the, when you're learning about biology or whatever, they've got like the DNA helixes that they kind of untwist so you can see how they join. It's kind of like looking at that with all of your thoughts, like the light and the form of them begin to kind of unravel in ways where you can see even smaller component parts. And you have a moment of a little bit of a panic as, I think that it's not overstating it to say that Kellen's mind is probably what he is most proud of and what he is most... Some people are very like inhabit their body kind of people, or some people inhabit like relationships, like that's kind of who they are. I think Kellen has a very cerebral understanding of self. And you have that moment of panic, and then it sort of feels like two halves are warring with each other, or there's like a fault line for an earthquake. And you have that moment, and then something shifts, and it begins to come together. And it's almost like something is actively matching so that it works. It's more than just like kind of a matching or a similarity. It's like a totality or a wholeness, as like there's this almost synergetic, complementary kind of motion to your thoughts now. And as it happens, you have this moment of like blinding clarity, and you can see out through frozen eyes at the world around you, and time rewinds 6 seconds. You're going to remake your Constitution saving throw for the petrification, except for don't use con, use int.
Ooh. 9.
I'm sorry. You got a natural 20 on that. It is with advantage.
Mm, 12.
12. Believe it or not, 12 is exactly what you needed. So you look it out in the world, and as time rewinds, you have the benefit of understanding what exactly happens when you are petrified. It is a lived experience for you. And as you kind of come back into your senses and into the wider, larger infinity that is the external world, you have, I'll say this, on the Medusa's face, you see astonishment and awe, a tiny touch of fear and confusion as you are staring directly into her eyes and are not petrified. Now, you were in the middle of a surprise attack against this Medusa. What are you going to do?
Do I have an action?
Yes, you were in the middle of casting when you failed that con save, so you were still in the middle of whatever it is you're doing. Like, you're right in the middle of that action.
Get away. Pulse wave.
Pulse wave, very nice.
I need the Medusa in a fair turnabout to make a Constitution saving throw.
Beautiful. Just 1 second to pull up the Medusa's stat. What kind of save was it?
Con.
I'm going to look there. And what is the DC?
14.
All right. Unfortunately, the Medusa is pretty con-worthy, so it ends up being an 18. What happens on a fail or on a successful save?
Half damage.
All right, so I'm rolling.
Yep. That was 20 damage on the roll, so it'd be half to 10.
Very nice. That's a good amount of damage. I will say, for everyone else who's in a hallway, you hear this wave of force energy. It sounds like it is coming from somewhere kind of south of your position and a little bit to the, oh, sorry, some of you are not great with directions, a little bit to the left and also down. Okay, let me roll her initiative really quick, as you're going to go into initiative order. You beat her, so she will go after you. We're going to get that initiative, but we're going to start with Kellen is our number 1 initiative, and we'll go around like that. So, Kellen, you just had a surprise attack. You have another turn. It is again your turn.
Okay. Can't do that. Oh man, I was not prepared to go again right away. I think he's gonna pulse wave again. Just like
Nice.
one hand, other hand.
Again, do it.
I need a con save from the Medusa. I'll roll damage roll you.
Well, considering that was a natural 1, go ahead and do damage and a half, please.
Okay.
It's ridiculous. You know, these Medusae can do some really cool stuff, and I have not yet had a chance to do anything. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Round up or down?
Up.
23.
Very nice.
I had 3 ones.
I mean, not as nice as it could be, I guess, but still pretty nice. Bonus or movement. I will remind you with your bonus, you can't see him, I think, for light, but Otto is here. And Otto is moving on your turn in initiative, so as you finish your turn, Otto can also act.
Kellen's going to trade places and have Otto take the lead on this one.
Okay. If you move that far down, it will provoke an attack of opportunity at disadvantage because of Otto's interference. Do you want that?
Yep.
Okay. Cool. That means I get to do something with a Medusa. This is awesome. What can I do? I guess Otto doesn't need to make the save, so that's cool. Let's see. It's going to be snake hair. So the snakes are going to reach out, try and bite you as you go with disadvantage. Second one misses. I love this. I love this for you. I love this for all of us. This is fantastic. So the snakes kind of reach out and try to do this, and as they do, Otto's just like shink and like blocks them as you scamper. So you are able to switch places with Otto. Anything else? I mean, you have more movement if you want to move further, or what do you want?
Would you agree that Kellen can count pretty quickly in his head?
Yes.
Excellent. He begins to do the 10 seconds of deep breathing exercise in about 2 seconds.
Love it. Love it. Speed running serenity. I do like that. It's a quick recipe for hyperventilation. Mm-hmm. Love that. Was there any bonus action you were taking?
He commanded Otto to move. And Otto can move and attack, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Let me give the stats for still.
And Otto gets a 9 on his attack roll.
That unfortunately will not do it.
That makes a lot of sense.
Well, it's a good effort based on our little best Steely boy here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's the end of your turn.
Yep.
I need to delete a few million things from the turn tracker. So just give me just a scotch.
You good?
Okay. Yeah, we're good. It is now the Medusa's turn, and the Medusa is enraged that you got away and looking at this weird thing in front of her. Moderately intelligent. I don't think intelligent enough to turn away. So the Medusa is going to attack Otto with multi-attack. So it's going to make 1 with her snake, 2 with a short sword. The first one is 19 to hit. For 4 points of piercing. Is Otto immune to poison? I believe he is.
It would be weird if it wasn't.
So
Otto is immune to poison.
That's fantastic because there was a lot of poison damage. So 4 points of piercing damage, and then with the short sword, there's going to be 2 rolls here. I hate this. I hate this so much. Will a 13 hit?
It does not.
Okay. The other one was a natural 1, so that super doesn't hit. So I'm going to say with this short sword, she reaches out, slashes, goes wide, slashes again, and this time Otto just catches the sword with a hand and is just holding it, and she's unable to wrench it free.
No pun intended, but that's metal.
There we go. Seeing this happen, made through source lines. You know what? Screw it. Let me roll a quick intelligence check here. Yeah, no. She is confused. One of her prey has just stared her in the eye, no problem. And now this thing has her short sword. She's going to let go of the short sword and begin to run away.
Oh boy.
6. Otto can make an attack of opportunity.
Otto will do that. Go, buddy. 14?
Just missed. It's 15 to hit.
He has been really focused on defense. It's not really Otto's fault,
Well, to be fair, he does kind of have a short sword in his hand. So, he gets ready to attack, and it's like, oh, no, wait, I got this. Set that down first kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right, so she successfully moves away from Otto. That's the end of that turn. We are now at Bim. So, Bim, you're hearing all of this coming from down the hallway towards where you see that statue at the end of the hallway. You don't know what it is. Let me get rid of the first Medusa's carcass here. You don't know what's going on. You've just heard a couple different times, this weird, blasty sound, and then some scrapey, strikey stuff.
Okay. Forward, I suppose.
Cool.
Towards the dangerous sounds.
That seems completely reasonable, given everything you know. Go ahead and move yourself. Your movement.
Ooh. Oh, there was even one going this way.
So you can see the statue right here.
Yeah.
It looks like a figure of a man, an elf. His face is contorted in fear. He has a sword in hand that's extended out in front of him, and the other hand is trying to shield himself.
Okay. Can I move past him?
If you want to, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, you still have 2 more things of movement.
Yeah,
don't you?
I still have movement.
Oh, yes, you definitely can get through that space.
Okay, I just wanted to know. Okay, hello.
You turn the corner and you are now face to face with the same Medusa that just was fighting Otto.
Am I face to face with it, or is it? facing
It's running
the other
towards you. No, it's running towards you. I just have
Oh.
little icons.
way. Okay, that's great.
So it's one of those weird, like, kind of Scooby-Doo hallway chase scenes where you're both running through hallways and then now you're just like facing each other.
Okay.
That's your movement. What are you gonna do about it?
First, Bev's gonna just look at her legs instead.
All right. No save for you.
And let's see. Do I have? What is that?
That's how I feel every single time I look at Ben's character sheet. I'm like, but what is that?
Like, what does this do? Let's. Because I also just don't know what to do.
Well, let's make this a series of quick choices. Are you planning to fight? It's very different things if you're not going to fight, right? So are you planning to fight?
Right now, the spell I'm looking at, no.
Ooh, interesting. What are you looking at? Talk to me.
I'm looking at rope trick right now. I'm thinking about trying to put this woman in the little extra dimensional space here.
Interesting. I mean, okay.
That's why I'm like,
I mean, you can hold up to 8 hours. Okay,
Yeah.
what I would say, you gonna do this?
Why not? Let's go.
All right, so you cast rope trick. One thing that happens is the rope doesn't really have much to go up. It's very narrow ceilings here. So you have an end of a rope that is pretty much directly in front of you. And then a ton of rope that is coiled on the floor, making this space difficult terrain. If you want to try to force the Medusa through this, gosh, what are you going to need? Be an opposed athletics check.
Okay.
But I would argue you're either going to have to make that save or roll a disadvantage because you got to have eyes on.
I'll make the roll because I feel okay about this. So do you want to do the strength check first or the other check first?
Let's do the other check first. So make your con save.
Okay. It's going to be 14.
You're good.
Okay.
I love this. I love this so much. You're good. No, yeah, you succeed. No problem. So you're not incapacitated or restrained or petrified or turned into stone.
Right.
Now let's roll that.
Strength check? Or
Yes.
athletic check?
Yeah, athletics.
Athletics? Okay. I get advantage.
Oh, very nice.
There went 1d20 off the desk. Okay, let's get another one. Alright, that's going to be a 17.
The Medusa has a +0 to strength and got a 4.
Oh,
So
no.
that's a 4. Yeah. So you kind of like, I think you kind of have like, I'm tired of these snakes on this plane kind of moment where you're just like, you know what? I already did this once. I got the head to prove it. This is, you know, a bunch of malarkey. I'm just going to, and you just kind of like, you do kind of an Aikido move, right? Because it's not like raw strength. You're not like lifting her. You just kind of pivot from the hip and like throw her into extra dimensional space, which is incredibly cool. Let me tell you.
Yes, it
What
is.
now? What now? You would know. I just want to make sure that you know.
Uh-huh.
You would know. Anything inside the extra dimensional space will fall out when the spell ends.
Uh-huh.
So if you drop concentration, or I guess it's not concentration, but it has a duration of an hour. If you decided to end the spell, she would be right back in that space.
Okay.
but it has a duration of an hour. So it's kind of up to you. You know, honestly, I had some stuff planned, and I'm really not sure how to resolve it right now because I'm not sure what to do with this whole extra-dimensional space stuff.
Oh, no.
Short rest.
No, I like it. I like it. Don't get me wrong. Creative solutions, A+, top marks. Invisible entrance. Okay, if you're inside, you can go outside, right? But it's invisible. So I'm going to say, for each round that you leave her in there, she's going to make an intelligence check to see if she can navigate her way out.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh man, I don't know how to do the other one. Because she's not technically dead, but she's not here. Gosh, this is such a cool way of dealing it. I just don't know how to mitigate the consequences. Okay, as she's forced into this extra-dimensional space, you hear silence. It's like when there's been a fan on in the background for long enough that you don't realize that it's there until someone flips it off. And then you're like, oh, no, wait. I was hearing something the whole time. There's this sudden silence that makes you realize you had been hearing something before. From down the hallway.
Oh, no.
Kellen. There is this skeleton that is ambling around. But you look at it, because you hear this silence as well, and you're kind of like figuring out what it is. You look at it, and it's still moving. It's still living its best undead life, whatever. But it seems to be without purpose. It's physically like moving around, but it doesn't seem to be moving towards anything. It doesn't seem to be really aware of anything around it. Bim and Kellen, please make me an intelligence check. Otis, can you make me a nature check?
On it.
Me and 19 for Bim.
Nice.
12 for Kellen.
Oh, no.
Perfect.
I rolled a 6, so that's a total of 14. 15 for Otis. I gotta remember that +1 for classes.
Only you can get a 6 and be like, oh man, this sucks. I'm beating most DCs. Kellen, you don't quite put it together because you haven't seen what's going on. You don't know what's going on. Bim, you hit this much quicker. As you can piece it together that when you shove the Medusa into the space with the other Medusa dead, something in like kind of the powering or the creation or the upkeep of this space has stopped. And Otis, with your 15, I'll say that you think you kind of look at the stone and the ceilings and everything, and you start to see little cracks and bits of debris start to fall, and you think, I bet we've got like approximately a minute to get out of here.
Got it.
Now, there is a ton of this space, or you don't know how much of the space that you have not seen yet. You don't know if there are any other entrances or exits. You don't know if there are any traps. You don't know if there's any bandits. But you do know that you've now got a countdown timer.
Oh boy.
So with this Medusa currently out, we are no longer in initiative order. I'm going to ask people to move in like 6-second time intervals, basically. So you can, wherever you want.
Got it.
Give me 30 feet or 35 feet of movement and let me know. Like if you're talking, obviously free action, but we're going to try and keep it fairly rapid paced.
Well, Otis as his free. Is it still his turn according to the turn order, or?
We're out of turn order right now.
Oh, okay,
so this
right.
is everyone can move together.
Well, Otis is gonna holler as a free action. Hey, this place is gonna come down in 1 minute. I gotta get out of here.
Thank you. We had no idea at the time that was. I had not noticed Otis. I really needed that. Thank you.
Otis is dashing back the way he came.
Okay, I will tell you, you have a choice. You can move 30 feet or you can move 60 feet. If you move 30 feet, you're not going to trigger traps as you come past them, and you will not automatically trigger combat. If you're moving 60 feet, you will trigger anything that you come across. So it's up to you. It's basically like, do you want to move at a normal pace, or do you want to go,
It started at a normal pace. I'll do 30 feet in the direction that Bim went, because Otis saw that.
Any other conversation happening?
No, Otis is bonus action, he's moving Nazareth. Well, Nadine.
Nadine will move. You don't have to worry about her. She'll move wherever you are.
All right, so Otis is just hauling it because he knows what time it is.
All right.
So 30 feet in the direction Bim went. That 5, 10. Is he allowed to squeeze past the construct? Because Kira, I know you said okay.
The elemental you can get past, no problem. They're friendly, you can squeeze.
So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Nazareth's technically at the back, but I am going to just kind of keep them with you for now so we don't get lost.
Thank you very much.
Yvain, Micah, and Ardris. One, you have no idea what has just happened other than Otis being like, she's gonna blow, and jetting. Anything going on here in this little hallway?
So we can tell it's collapsing, right?
Yeah, the signs are subtle right now, but there is this kind of this distant kind of sound of grinding that you kind of expect in a mine shaft or something. If Otis hadn't said it's going to be a minute, you would think, all right, at some point we should probably get out of here because it's not that stable of a structure.
Okay.
I do believe we should probably get out of here and not stand in this hallway dithering.
Okay. Well, after you, because they're behind them, so they can't really move until they move.
She will take Micah's hand because she doesn't want to leave them alone.
That's adorable.
Ardris is gonna get rid of banishment and cast fly on himself, and then he will grab one of the other two, whoever will let him grab them, and then fly at 60 feet. Then if I could take the dash action to move at 120 feet, I will do that.
Must be nice.
If you hold on. As previously stated, the ceilings in here are pretty narrow, so it's pretty difficult to fly. It's not a lot of space. You could hover where you are.
I'm Superman in it. I'm trying to Superman.
But I'm not sure that you're going to be able to squeeze past without knocking people over.
I'm trying to do Superman holding Lois Lane, real close, laying flat down and just going through.
All right, make me a dexterity saving throw.
Wait, how is this happening? It's because Yvain...
Who all can fly?
Micah can fly. Micah's fine.
Okay, so you grab Yvain, who is holding Micah's hand. Gotcha.
if Yvain lets him anyway, I'm not gonna force anyone to do anything. But if
you're let's fly, hand down.
You know what? Given the circumstances, this time I will allow it.
So I rolled an 8 on the actual saving throw.
Cool. Yvain, I also will need a saving throw from you, please.
Which one?
Dex.
Oy.
Can I put the magic sword
out? It's not much better. It's not much better. It's a 5.
Can I put the magic sword in front to block?
Nope.
Just because it'll look cool though.
Okay, yeah, sure you can. Mechanically, we'll have 0 effects, but yes, you can do this. That is a possibility. So as you move here, you fly into Nazareth. Otis, could you roll me some fire damage really quick?
I don't even know how that would work for her as far as contact. Would that be considered flame speed damage?
Yeah, do this.
She's not a flaming orb, so.
Yeah, it's kind of or what's fiery teleport damage?
It's
wait.
Do that.
Question. If I boosted my 8 by 4, would I succeed? So 12 succeed?
Otis, what's your spell save DC?
16.
No, it would not.
You
only take 3 damage, dog. You good.
Okay, so Ardris and Yvain take 3 damage as you fly through here. Otis, you got a duck because they hit hard as they're coming through. You get here. Are you keeping and following towards where Bim went, or what's the plan?
Yeah, if he knows they're nearby, he's gonna keep moving.
Well, Ardris and Yvain are moving at terrifying speeds, so I got to resolve that a little bit. Micah, are you flying?
Nope. Just ready right now.
Okay. I think you end up behind Nadine then.
Mm-hmm.
Ardris, I need another dexterity saving throw, and Yvain as well, as you round the corner and have this statue.
Remind you that I'm a wizard, Dungeon Master.
You know, if you want to go 120 feet by flying through a narrow hallway, that's kind of like what happens. I'm just saying.
I will go at like 80 feet. You know, a middle.
Nah, son. You out here changing the rules on the fly, dog.
Most people, when dashing on foot, can go 60. And I've already said if you're going 60, you will trigger all traps.
This is magic. It's magic, Dungeon.
You made choices, dog.
That is a lot of words for I failed my dex save.
That's a lot of
15.
Oh, that's not bad.
I rolled a 6. I rolled a 6.
That's a lot of words for I failed my dex save.
Nah, you got a whole concentration. You got to roll, dog.
I have alert. I can't be surprised by anything coming up. I got alert.
You are surprised only by your own
I am
choices.
aware by this. I am aware of everything that is coming up.
4 points of bludgeoning damage as you careen into this statue of a person frozen in fear. It hits the wall with enough force that it explodes into a ray of rocks and gravel and dust.
That elf is dead.
Sorry, wise concentration?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why Micah
concentration checks, then, please.
That's the reason why Micah did a cast because
pass.
Yeah, 13 and natural 20.
You know what?
All right, you go over Bim's head. Thankfully, Bim is a little bit short, so that doesn't hurt you too bad. Let me do a little.
Can I shield the damage? Can I do that? Just be a wrecking ball in this?
70, 75, 80. Are you going 80 or 120?
If I could get hit anyway, I might as well just go all in.
All right, fine. Sorry, Yvain. You are also being drugged over here. So we got here. Otto is directly in front of you. Go ahead and make another dex save. For both of you.
There's just a robot here.
You've never met Otto, so you don't know anything about it. Yeah.
Don't you say anything about robots. Bim will drag you down.
Would a 15 succeed?
Doria, 11 will succeed. So both of you are good. You go over Otto's head. Hold on, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 110, 15. You would be where Kellen is, so I'm going to put you 5 feet back. Just because you, at the last second, kind of pump the brakes so you don't run into him. Ton of movement. Well done. Micah, are you good with where you are?
Mm-hmm.
Bim, you have not moved yet.
No, I have not. So... Hey!
You come face to face with our friendly Otto.
Hey, I know that guy.
You do. And Kellen, you also can move.
So, quick flashback.
Sure.
I won't take up too much time, but I flash back to when having discussions back in my village about the particular god, which I might have some small alignment towards. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing that their opinion of undead is not, wow, those are super cool, we need more of those running around.
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable assumption.
Okay, I'm going to do something dumb, and we'll let you see if you run with it. instead of trying to engage in combat, Colin is going to come up to this thing. And he is going to cast Cure Wounds on it at the 2nd level, just touching it as he passes by. I do not know really how the rules as written interpret this, but generally this is kind of a thing that can work, so let's see what happens.
Okay. Roll me your healing, please.
You got it. Double ones. That is a total of 5.
Oh.
Hey, you know what? Every little bit helps. One thing that you notice as you come up to this thing is that it still seems unaware that you were there or uninterested. You don't know. It's not like it has eyes you can follow, but like it's just kind of slack-jawed, shifting and ambling. You reach out with hands and... sorry, was it Cure Wounds?
Yeah.
Okay. You reach out with your hands and you kind of like, you flash back to that and you're like, hey, it'd really be cool if this worked right now. And you cast Cure Wounds. And as you do, you see when you pull your hand back that there is a handprint burned into the arm. Like you hit the humerus and part of the scapula. There's a handprint there where you were touching. And it does seem to kind of sizzle and burn and lose a little bit of its form.
Excellent. Well, I think I'm about to do a combat. I don't know how you want to work that out in this sort of high-speed scenario.
Should be interesting. All right, you're about to do a combat. You can take, well, I'm going to say casting Cure Wounds is an action, yeah?
Yeah.
You got a bonus action?
Yes. Spend 1.5 seconds thinking about how awesome that was as I plan what to do next.
Was pretty cool. All right. The next 6 seconds. Everyone move yourself the appropriate amount of movement that you can go.
But
please remember if there are people in front of you. Yes, you do. You saw Bim head that way, and you've heard a lot of sounds from
Okay, this way. So there's a turn somewhere over here.
There is.
With Otis's dark vision, he can't see it. So, like, as far as how many feet of dark vision?
Well, yeah. Start moving. You'll see it when you move.
Okay. Is this the rope trick area?
So there's so in front of you is, well, the shattered remains of what was a statue. You saw R just obliterate it. And as you turn the corner, there's rope all over the place.
20.
So make sure and count that one square as 25. Difficult terrain.
Oh,
okay, so then I stop here. That's not your fault. Say, Otis will stop here then.
For Nadine and the elemental, just assume that they are where you are. Like, you don't have to move them. For the sake of speed. The rest of you guys going to move your stuff? It doesn't have to be one-on-one. You can just move to where you're going.
See, I would, but I've got people in front of me.
You are kind of blocked in. Argus, what's your plan?
I've gone 120 feet forward.
Okay. I need 2 dexterity saving throws.
But first, I will blow the horn of whoever it is.
Horn of the Fallen.
The dead. That one, because one of its abilities gives you advantage on once per day. All allies within 100 feet are immune to frighten and advantage or the next save, or just an attack. It's a save. Saves, yeah. Next attacks and saves. So I'm doing that.
Make 2. Kellen, make a dexterity saving throw, please.
I just love how we gave Ree all the cheat codes.
Look, fam.
So do I roll with advantage?
Yes, all allies.
Okay.
Yeah, Kellen, you also roll an advantage. Bim, you will have advantage should you need one. Actually, everyone within the sound of my voice, you will have advantage when you need it.
Okay.
Natural 20.
19.
19 on the 19 on the first one. Do I need to roll 2 or just 1?
Yeah, 2.
13. I'm going to use my feature to boost it to a 17.
Okay. So you have, Kellen, you have a split second to turn. You see Ardris. He's like flying, but he's doing this thing where he's like basically having to run the side of the wall because he's making that turn so quick. And so like as he turns in midair and his feet are kicking out, you see it just enough to kind of flatten down as he whooshes over your head. Ardris, you feel the scrape of touching the head of this skeleton. It was a 17 for the second one?
Yes.
Roll me a d6.
Touch. Why are we just tempting the dice? See the dice. I don't agree. 6.
You do 6 points of damage to the skeleton, which I think combined with what Kellen already did is enough that you just decapitated an angry pest.
I just grab its head and take it off while I'm moving.
Love it. So, Kellen, you duck down, and then you look up, and there's just a spinal column connected to a body in front of you, and that just collapses next to you. But you don't stand up because another person whooshes over your head, going just as fast because I don't know if y'all are still holding hands or if you've got to, hold his ankle. I don't know how this is working, but both of them speed on down the pathway.
You've seen Superman when you're flying with Lois Lane before. Like, you're holding close to the.
I've never seen that happen in like a tiny space. Like I don't know how that works.
Also, let me just say, to my knowledge, your backstory is not that you're an alien from Krypton. So you cannot necessarily do what Superman can do.
To your knowledge.
Pretty much a supernatural prince, though. So we can go for Aladdin instead, if that makes it better.
You're giving me ideas. Before we get much further, I'm going to ask both of you to move your movement.
Before we
120 feet.
Otis is going to.
Sorry, I'm still on Ardris and.
Oh, that makes.
Yeah, they still haven't moved from the last one yet.
I apologize.
And Otto's just going to automatically move here. Ben, you can move.
Gotcha.
Where you will. Is there any communication with Kellen as you fly by about like what's up?
The ruin is collapsing, family. You need instructions. I don't know what to say.
Well, I mean, it's not to the stage that it's like overt. It's not like It's not like Indiana Jones in the temple where like there's huge chunks of rock that are falling.
As she gets whipped by Kellen, she goes, "You should about face. The place is coming down." Just being like eaten past him.
So
did you make it all the way there? My God.
120 feet.
Yeah. This skeleton that you see here, the same as that other one, is not moving with any sort of purpose. It's just kind of it's doing the thriller walk, you know what I mean? Like dragging one foot, kind of not really doing anything. Cool. So that is 12 seconds down. Next 6 seconds.
Wait, Bim hadn't finished theirs. They still have like 15 left. But as I pass Kellen, I'm gonna cast haste on him.
Oh, solid idea.
And then I'm gonna finish killing bats. They're right there. Yeah.
Nice. All right, so Kellen, you are now hasted, which is awesome. I will say, like, as you kind of get up from where you were on the floor with the skeleton below you, you can see that there's like a section of like scapula that has most of that handprint there that you can pick up if you want to take it with you. I don't know if you want to or not, but you could. Everyone move yourself. 6 more seconds, please.
Because Micah is within 5 feet of... Yes, sir.
There's something I can pick up?
Yep.
Doing it.
Okay. That is the mood of D&D players everywhere, I think. It's just like, wait, I can take something? Yep, it's already in my bag.
casting Long Strider on Otis and Micah. So Long Strider at 2nd level.
Very nice. Very, very nice. All right, with Long Strider and Haste, get to moving, y'all.
All right, so you get an extra 10 feet of movement, Big Doug.
Perfect. All right.
All of us?
Just me and Micah, because those are the only ones.
Oh, no, I meant like all of us moving.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, everyone please move.
Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Okay.
I'll dash.
You can't.
I
You
can't.
can't off the map, the safety.
So basically, like, we're simulating, like, the real-time movement here, but, like, you can't dash.
Wait, hold on.
Sorry.
DM.
Yeah.
Keen mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me where I'm at now. Do I need to go this way to get out or this way? Left or
You're
down?
Mind.
You're going to want to go down.
Okay.
Or
Awesome.
south.
Keen mind.
Cool. 18 seconds. Another round of movement, please. The sounds are getting much louder now. You begin to hear distantly chunks of stone follow.
35, 40. Okay.
It's so cool on my side to see like all of the sight lines that keep moving as you guys move through this stuff. It's really neat.
Yeah. Like we're doing it.
Now that I am out, can I dash over to where the others are?
Yeah, that's not a problem. Once you're out, you're just out. Like we're only keeping track of the movement for purposes of does everyone make it out in the 10 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
We are at 18, 24. We're at 30 seconds.
Yep.
Everyone, please make it.
Okay.
Otto is out.
You know what? Yeah, I'll keep it safe.
I dash.
If Otis is the only one that doesn't make it out, I will die laughing.
Bim is gonna stay right. Actually,
30.
no.
I will die.
Bim is gonna stay like right in here,
All right.
just in case they need to like pull people out.
Yeah, makes sense. 36 seconds. Make your movement.
I know we're close to the entrance. All right, we're dashing. Well, I'm dashing. So that's 80.
You can't dash, but you can go.
We cannot dash, that's right.
40 feet. Yep.
I am heading in the right direction.
Basically, right now, 40 feet is dashing because this is weird, crazy terrain and like stuff is falling.
We're here,
so,
big
like,
dog. We're here.
Oh,
Just run in the stuff. Take the damage. Don't be scared.
there are some who would employ this.
Otis has taken some of the most hits.
It was like 9 points of damage. It was entirely worth it.
42 seconds. Make your final movement, I assume, to get out of here.
Bim yanks them. Get out.
We're out. We had seconds to spare.
You're out, and you have a few moments to breathe. And after approximately 18 seconds, you hear this massive rumble as from deep inside, you imagine this could be where a formerly banished stone golem was currently residing. Things begin to fall. And eventually there's this massive cloud of like dust and debris that comes out from the entrance that you are at as the entire structure collapses in on itself. And you can see that, like, I mean, it's not built on a mountain. It's kind of like there's a hilly area around it, and there's lots of rock and mountain around it. This whole area is depressed and collapsed.
Woo-wee.
Yeah.
I would like to use the horn to heal everyone for 2d6 points of damage.
Very cool. There is a very loud horn blast as Argus raises what you know is called the Horn of the Fallen. And as he plays it, you feel it kind of like it's like when you watch a really good movie and you have that like, yeah, I could have been one of those kind of feelings. It's like one of that like you're hearing the call of a horn that was used, centuries ago for something, and you feel that kind of instant camaraderie, and it does heal you for
4 points of damage.
4 points of damage for everybody. It does not heal Otto, so
yeah.
Ignore that.
Otto would like to use repair.
Okay, Otto can repair. How much longer is Nadine out for?
Oh, she lasts an hour. So if you want to...
Okay. You've got probably about half that. A little bit more, probably closer to 40 minutes.
Right.
But you've been in a couple of different combat rounds, so we'll say 40-ish minutes.
We're alive! We're alive!
Yay!
I just would gently put Evane down now.
She looks completely windswept. Her eyes are very large. She's just like, thank you. And she just like takes 2 steps and just collapses just to sit on the ground.
Oh no.
I love it. I love it so much.
Right, well, you all are fine now?
Logistics question. If I use conjure animals to summon giant owls for everybody to fly away, would we be, how much time would it approximately take? Because you said it took us like a few hours to walk.
It took you 7, and that was because of a very good roll. It would normally take 8.
Okay.
Let me look at some fly speeds real quick, and I'll see what I can do.
Because I can have these owls dash and run.
I will say, Ardris, make a quick history check for me.
23 total.
Very nice. You are aware that it would take approximately 8 hours to get back, but and it is like mid to late afternoon right now, pushing towards early evening, so like 4-ish in the afternoon. You know, you could walk back. There are a couple of places you saw on the way that you think you could maybe camp out. But you also know that the what was the polite way that we put it? The homestead in the north, the safe house where your mother is about a 4-hour walk from you perpendicular. So you wouldn't be any closer to the capital city if you went there, but it would be a shorter walk or fly, if this is what we end up doing, to get there.
All right, well, we could go back to the city, which will take us roughly 8 hours, give or take. We can go and visit my mother, which only takes about 4 hours. Any preference?
I want to save Mary. That's what I want to do.
I'm with Otis on this. I believe we should go back to the capital and revive her.
I have a quick meta question, just because I don't remember. Were we privy to what was going on with Ardris's mom, or had he kept that private? I can't remember if we knew that she didn't answer.
He kept it private.
He hasn't said anything.
Yeah,
it's private.
We don't know squad.
Okay, excellent. Then Kellen would be like, yeah, I mean, obviously we have to go save Miri.
I am also inclined to go save Mary. We don't know how much time she has left.
Boss, take care of yourselves, and then we will head out as soon as you've caught your breath. There's something I would like to tend to first. Then he will... You don't leave, you just kind of like fly like 20 feet away. And then he'll use the horn to cast Sending. Because apparently we have a magic item that can do that after I took the spell. You know, finding, I feel personally.
It can only do it once, and you tend to make like you spam the group chat when you cast Sending. You're just like, good. Let me ask you again.
I feel called out. You know.
To whom are you casting Sending?
To my mother to check in with her.
Can you say?
I've not heard from you recently. Are you all right? We have tended to a few things that you should know about when you're at your leisure. Please let me know as soon as possible.
It? Okay. Well, this will go. Birds or horses?
You do not get a response, Ardris.
Dang.
That's not good.
Right. I'm sorry, what was your question?
I wasn't asking you. I was asking them. Birds or horses?
I beg you, no flying, please.
Yvain's still like sort of hovering unwillingly in place. Like she crumpled to the ground and is still not touching the ground because like she's still got fly cast on her, I guess.
She's very unhappy with it.
To save our friend here a little less trauma, I guess. What happened to you?
Forget that you all don't do combat flying exercises. We need to move as quickly.
No,
as possible.
there was definitely, if you remember, an actual offensive magics class that had to fly.
Yep.
Like, this is an actual class you took.
Well, Otis didn't, but everybody else did.
Otis did not. Otis was dealing with some stuff.
Vane needs to go back to school, right?
Vane's never been.
And it shows.
She needs some education.
Horses.
Otis will use his final casting of Conjure Animals to conjure traveling horses.
How many horses can you conjure?
I believe there are, what are they, like 1/2 creatures or 1/4?
It depends on which type of horse you're doing, I think. I assume you're doing a riding horse.
Yes.
Riding horses are 1/4.
Okay, sweet. So that means I think do I still get 8? Because I think it's 1/4 or less.
Yeah,
Right.
your quarter is 8.
So we get all 8. 8 riding horses.
Are you sure you want 8? Because that is more people. Like, you're gonna have like just extra horses. Like,
but the whole thing is like, okay, if I get less horses, are you gonna give me more time?
No, that's not how it works. I'm just asking if you're gonna have extra. All right.
Because I'm gonna spend the spell slot anyway, Aaron. Like,
you're like, magic has a balance. I'm not going in the red. What do you want from me?
That's what I'm saying. If I'm gonna spend it, I'm gonna spend it.
All right,
We're
cool.
balling out with horses.
There are currently 8 horses that just spawn to life in front of you. Crazily enough, some of them are honestly quite gorgeous. In fact, all of them are a little bit unusual in their coloration patterns. Like, they're not just like kind of the normal working horses you would see. There's some that are like these dappled gray and white that give them a very like almost not camouflage like a modern sense, but think like leopard in the grasses kind of feel, where like if they were in shade, you think that they would probably, actually do a pretty good job of blending in. There's one that is a stark black, just jet black all the way through. There is one that almost kind of has like a zebra coloration or a. I mean, it's not like
just straight up racing stripes.
It is not a zebra. I want to make that clear. It is not a zebra, but it does have like kind of this alternating coloration pattern that goes in between white and a darker like gray or black.
Okay.
So each of them looks quite different from the other.
I just want this the black one.
That's my horse.
Do any of them have saddles?
Nah. I mean, I assume if you're just summoning animals, you don't get equipment with them.
All right.
I would assume.
Look, summoning life out of nothing is one thing, but summoning saddles as well breaks the immersion.
Yeah, let's not go overboard. You're creating life from magic. What do you want? Yeah. You know what? These are riding horses. They have adorable saddles that match their coloration perfectly, with silver accents, because why not?
Nice.
So you jump onto these horses, I assume.
Yeah.
Anything we're doing before we leave?
Well, Otis is going to order them all to dash toward Reed's home city. Well, Ardris's home city. I know I live in Reed's home city on the opposite side. So.
Sorry.
It's a plains adventure. It's a plains adventure.
Yeah, congratulations. This campaign is now you are in the D&D world campaign. Roll up yourself, please.
Be like that.
Okay, wait, hold on. I got to clarify a few things. One, is there any conversations happening? Because this is kind of an interesting transition to, you come out of a place that just collapsed. Kellen does not know anything that has occurred whatsoever. And now there are horses. Like, is there any debrief going on?
Well, Otis is open ears to Kellen. Because Otis is definitely happy.
Ardris is fidgeting for an hour. after an hour, I would like to take a short rest while I'm traveling. I don't know if we can do that or not.
On horseback, dog?
I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't know.
I guess in an hour you'll find out.
And I'll just is fidgeting for an hour.
So that's a no to discussion. Awesome. Mm-hmm. So we're going out to, I want to double check your wording here. You said you were going to dash the entire way?
Yeah, because Otis's mindset is he's in a hurry.
Okay, I just do want to make sure that you know that forced marches are kind of like a mechanical thing. So if you are dashing, it has an effect.
Everything, going around, that'll affect my perception, all that fun stuff.
It also will affect your mount's health and exhaustion.
All right, I won't be cruel twice in a row.
I mean, it is entirely up to you. I'm not trying to steer you one way or the other. I'm just trying to make sure you have all the facts before. I don't want to be like, oh, but you said, and that's not what you intend.
No, that's fair. Otis will go to steady face then, because he's gonna be nice.
Okay. So we are going to, actually. Yeah, okay. If you do not dash, your horses can comfortably travel for the entire 8 hours without any risk to them whatsoever, or to you. Mm-hmm. If you travel any faster or any longer, that is where we get into issues of exhaustion or harm.
The whole thing is the spell only lasts for 1 hour.
Okay. Well, in that case, let me switch something else to you, please. For up to an hour, animals can move much faster than humanoids. So as a mounted character, you can gallop for 1 hour and cover twice the usual distance. So for 1 hour, you can move basically 2 hours worth.
Looks like we're dashing.
They'll go away. Yeah.
Yeah, looks like we're dashing.
You can only do it for up to an hour at a time before you get that same problem. But since your mounts only lasts for an hour, that works out really well. Cool. So you all do that. We are finished with roll 20, so you don't have to have that up anymore if you don't know. So you are kind of on the northern end of this red trade road here.
Okay.
About here-ish, about where the eye is in Therantamiel. And you're heading back down south. Actually, I'm so sorry. I put that on the wrong side of this road. You're closer to where the inn is.
Okay.
You're heading back to Bovokor, which is the capital city.
Okay.
So as you are moving, for that first hour, you move at great speed. Artist, I'm going to say, in order to remain on this horse, I don't think you can get a short rest. It's just, it is active use of your dexterity, and instead of making you do a dex check a bunch, I'm just going to say you probably can't pull it off.
You wounded me, Dean.
It's
You're on a galloping horse, dog.
It's the law of physics that's wounding you, not me.
Breathe. You play so much D&D. When has any DM ever let you get away with resting while riding on a horse?
I did have a DM that let me do it once, but it was an incredibly grueling campaign. He was like, well, you can do it, but you got to go in shifts, and people have to... It was the whole thing.
Full gallop horse.
Lots of
been in a game where I've used a horse before. This is the first time. We usually teleport.
Wow.
In the games that I play. This is
fair point. We're traveling in weird and strange ways, but we're traveling.
Well, if that's the case, then I will use my book to cast Sending at 5th level.
What happens when you upcast Sending?
Nothing. It doesn't do anything.
Oh, you're out of the spell slot, is what you're doing.
Yes.
So you're okay. I understand. All right. To whom are you casting?
My mother.
Okay. What do you say?
Mother, are you all right? This is rather unlike you to not respond to multiple messages. Anything I should be concerned about?
You wait the normal amount of time, and you do not hear a response.
I almost had a heart attack, Dungeon Master. I thought it was a 4. But it was an 84, it's fine.
Oh, man. That would have been something. I don't think it was poetry, but it would have been something. That would have been wild. I'm not ready for that. Okay.
But I do have a question.
Yes.
Based on the rate we're moving and things, do I think it would be faster for me to go to the place where my mother is, or to go back to the city, and then I assume they have like a method to transport there from the city? Which one do I think would be faster?
You are currently moving away from where she is by virtue of going south. So you would have to go west if you wanted to go to her, and you're going south. So, you'd have to double back just a little bit right now, but you're not too far. You're only 2 hours away, roughly-ish. Like maybe 2.5 hours away with trigonometry. It will be an additional 6 hours until you arrive in the capital city. But you believe that once you're there, the tricky thing is this is a purposefully secret place. So although you think you probably could figure out how to teleport there, it's not an easy thing. So other people can't do it, basically. So you think it's possible, but you don't think it will be necessarily quick.
Do we have any mounts in there, Tamiel, that are fast? At this point, I have to go on my own foot.
I mean, no. Once you get to the time, you absolutely can rent or buy a horse.
Well, then,
or whatever you need.
I think I have to keep going then. Alright, well, everyone, unfortunately, once we arrive, I will have to depart from you all and take care of other business. Try not to get yourselves killed in the meantime.
Otis smiles to himself.
So your mounts are gone. You're now on foot. It is approaching... It is sunset right now, getting into dusk. You're about 6 hours out of the capital.
Otis is walking. He is walking.
All right. We're continuing to push forward into the night?
Mm-hmm. That's what Otis is doing.
Yep.
Yeah. Can we make it if we keep going in the night?
It's a 6 hour walk.
What time is it? Approximately.
It's approximately 6:30 or 7 at night. So it'll be midnight, 1 in the morning when you arrive.
That's fine. That's midnight. It's fine. I thought it was like 8 already, so we get there like 4. That's fine.
Either way, Otis will still be walking.
Yeah. Okay. So who's on point?
Otis will take point. He's the one who's most adamant about getting.
All right.
Then we'll take the rear.
I feel like with Yvain's extended dark vision, she's probably up near Otis.
Okay. Otis, make me a survival check.
Woohoo, I get to add a D4.
Yvain and them, go ahead and make me some perception checks.
Okay.
Ooh, dirty 20.
Oh, let's go. Yeah, I rolled a natural dirty 20. That's a 28 on survival for Otis.
I rolled a natural 20.
You've got to be kidding me. This is...
You want me to show you the proof? I got
no. I trust you. I'm just.
I can screenshot it. D&D Beyond's being nice, but she also has a +3 to that. So.
All right. Cool. You know what? You arrive. You arrive. You guys, you're on point. You know exactly where you're going. You don't have any problems. You spot it. You're fine. You arrive. It is now a little bit after midnight as you very tiredly walk your way to the gate. You know what? The dice had an agenda, and they were like, "Skip a cutscene. Let's go."
Press the skip button on travel. Didn't know that was a thing.
Hey, redemption fast travel.
You said the dice tell a story. I guess that's one of its components.
This is the story they
telling
wish to tell.
Straight up. I firmly believe that we are merely the pawns of the dice's will. Okay, yeah, so you are very, very tired at this point. You're pushing into exhaustion now. especially you, Kellen, because you had some excitement before you made this whole journey.
You didn't need to tell me. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, but you arrive back at the gates to Ardris's diplomatic home here. You push in. There is, despite the fact that it is like 12:30 in the morning, the chief of staff, it looks fresh and pressed and ready to assist and help. And the way is lit, like the garden is lit well so that you can see what's going on. And he ushers you in. There's food service on the table, hot drinks and that kind of thing. What's your plan? What do you do?
Otis is actually going to ignore the food for once and turn to Professor Bill and go, "Healer."
Okay. Well, I'm gonna need a little bit of time.
You're gonna need
like
an hour.
I can't just pour it on her. That's not how this works.
You have to create an antidote based with that blood with your alchemical tools. Like Otis, you have the requisite components needed. Mm-hmm. But are you proficient in alchemical tools, Otis?
Oh, Otis is proficient in medicine.
And herbalism kit, if I recall correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have an herbalism kit?
He doesn't have one, but he's proficient.
You know what? That's fine. I will give you advantage based on Otis breathing down your neck and be like, no, it's not that one.
And I'm going to give you, I'll give you enhanced ability. It's better.
Ooh.
He has his ring of enhanced ability still. Boom.
What ability are you enhancing?
Well, what check would that be? I mean, if it's a
don't know.
Check,
it's literally in your brain. You have no idea as Otis.
He knows how herbalism kits work. But this is alchemy tools. If need be, like if it doesn't work or if Ben were to say that's not helping, Otis can switch to guidance. But Ben would have to say something. So
what did you cast?
I used the ring of enhanced ability, which is concentration.
For which ability?
Oh, for let's go intelligence.
Okay, I am going to need 3 checks from you.
That's
an Arcana check, an investigation check, and then you'll do an alchemical crafting check.
Okay, I'll start with the Arcana. That's going to be a 13.
13. Okay. You begin the process of combining the materials that you know. Did you roll with advantage?
Oh no, not
you
that
can use
one.
advantage on whichever one you want.
You get advantage on one. So if you're rolling for that one, that is cool.
I'll save it on that one. I'm not going to use it here.
So you get 13. You begin pouring all of these materials. You checking. You pull the Medusa head out of Kellen's bag of holding. I think is where you ended up putting it, maybe. Or do you have a bag of holding?
I do have a bag of holding, I believe.
It was in your bag of holding, I think. It was in a bag of holding. I don't remember where.
Somewhere.
Somewhere. It was somewhere, okay? You begin to separate out the materials that you will need. You basically put a syringe in a snake off of her hair or whatever. Pull what you need. And go ahead and roll the investigation check.
All right. Investigation. 23.
Yeah, so with that investigation check, you're able to get more insight into the chemicals and the processes of distilling this stuff. So you're able to make it basically more pure and therefore more reactive as you finish completing your alchemical crafting. So this time I'm going to say that this is I'm going to call it an intelligence check plus proficiency.
Okay.
Sweet.
And you are proficient with alchemical tools.
I am, and I'll use my advantage.
In order to, well, don't worry about it. Keep going.
Okay. All right. That is not a great roll to start. It's going to be a plus proficiency 17.
17. Did you use your advantage or not yet?
I did use my advantage.
Okay, just double check. All right, obviously 17 is not bad. It just takes maybe slightly longer than you thought. As you kind of went through your process and you realized at the last second, you forgot a catalyst at the beginning. You kind of like have to make up that time just a little bit. But in the end, you end up with this potion that is this deep, deep, dark silver gray. It's completely cloudy and opaque. You cannot see through it in the slightest. And it's a very viscous liquid. Like as you go to like turn it in the bottle, you can see how the liquid is very slow to flow. But you have successfully crafted. Roll me a D4 really quick.
A D4. Come on. 2.
You've successfully crafted 2 doses.
Okay.
Nice.
Here. Just hands it to Otis. I mean, I have 2, but nobody else got any, so
It better work, Professor. And Otis is gonna hobble up the stairs. Like he's just gonna beeline toward Mary's room.
As you approach Mary's room, you again hear Drogon working on reading this book out loud, but it's pretty tired sounding. Like I mean, your passive insight's quite high. He believed you were coming back, and he was determined to stay awake until that happened. And he is just barely fighting to stay awake at this moment. But he's just like, and then after the rains.
Oh, Otis is banging that door open. He has no chill.
You see him drop the book out of surprise, but he did not notice you were coming in the slightest. He's like, oh, no, Otis, it's good to see you. It's good to see you.
Yeah, Drogon, I'm alive or whatever.
Good. Yeah, that is everyone's life. No, I mean,
I got the potion. How do I heal him?
I don't know.
Well, can Otis make a medicine check on Miri so he can assume he can't just pour it down an unconscious person's throat?
Yeah, make a medicine check on Miri.
Okay.
I feel like Bim would slowly also follow upstairs in case something goes wrong.
Mike could definitely follow suit when Otis went upstairs as well, just to make sure everything turned out okay.
Otis rolled a 7, so that becomes a 15 total.
Okay. Kellen Artis, where are y'all?
Artis is downstairs, and he's having the person guy, who I don't think I ever named, but the one in charge of my stuff, send a message to Lady Vinfina for me. Do I know what she does? Like, I assume, her family does something. Like, are they wizards? Are they...
You know that her family has a large tie with... It's very interesting. It is arcane healers. People who use arcane methods of magic for specifically battle healers. Which is why the last time you went to see her, so much of the staff were gone, because when your dad went off to war, he took a lot of them with him. But it is really interesting because they stride this line in between wizards and clerics in a way that might be uncomfortable for other nations. We'll put it that way. But as a result of kind of that prestige, they're very well connected to a lot of people. But not so connected out of the country.
He was before. He will send a message to her if she's anyone that could contact his mother from a distance, he would greatly appreciate it, and to let him know if they don't receive a response.
Okay. he immediately summons like a footman who just takes it and like literally starts running off that way. Kellen, where are you?
Let it be that same footman that delivered all those messages before.
I do love the idea of one very tired guy. He's just like, yeah. Okay.
No.
In the okay, in our timeline, Mary's healed.
No, we have not gotten to that point yet. Just people are going upstairs. Micah, Otis, and Bim are all upstairs. Argus is downstairs, currently talking to his chief of staff. Which is where you and also Yvain have ended up.
Then Kellen's gonna go to Pyrea.
Okay. You head to your room, and you see Pyrea, like, literally drooling on the desk, where she has clearly tried to also stay up for you, but unlike Drogon, didn't have the requisite reading material to force herself awake, and is just face first in a book, facing kind of towards the fireplace and the door.
He's going to... I'm 17. He's going to walk up behind her. He's going to walk up behind her. And you know, like the very soft, like love handles area on your sides?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to like press his fingers there like he's going to tickle her.
Give me 1 second. I got to pull up her character sheet real quick.
Yo, there's gonna be a dexterity saving throw for
Pyrea. She's gonna swing
Pyrea
back.
has a character sheet? What?
Yeah, she does.
Oh.
She's a student too.
I mean, she's gonna die.
The things you guys don't know.
Kellen survives.
NPC has a character.
Kellen survives petrification and then gets accidental homicide from his girlfriend.
Technically, I'm pretty sure it would be accidental homicide at this point. It would be involuntary manslaughter based on what you did. Yeah.
You can tell you're doomed.
Make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh,
I can do that. I can do that.
Can you stop destroying things in my house, please?
No, never stop. Don't stop.
Hey, wisdom saving throws typically do not have like actual damaging effects flying around. They happen in the mind normally. 18.
18. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Very nice. My goodness. All right. So as you do that, she startles. She shoves herself hard up and back and into you. And as she does, it's like you catch the edges of a dream. You hear in your mind quite a few like voices or whispers. There's a lot going on, kind of as like she collides into you, startled awake. You do take, I rolled incredibly bad, 2 1s and a 2. So half that, you're going to take 2 points of damage.
Worth it.
And then there's this moment where it kind of gets a little bit louder as she's like searching around, and then she sees you and it's gone. And she kind of fully wakes up. Oh, hey, Kellen.
Bold decision falling asleep in an assassin's room.
Well, you better be nice to me or my boyfriend will come back.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back.
Right. Hey, people are collecting in Mary's room. Are you awake enough to come?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And she kind of just rubs at her eyes, and then she's like, no, really, I'm good.
He's going to kind of like handkerchief, like, yeah, let's just, you want to, you know.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Oh. All right, Mary, let's go.
Yeah.
And he's going to take her by the hand and lead her to Mary.
Hey, so you were successful? I mean, I hope so. Otherwise, this is going to be a really grim setting, right? Like, we're all just going to gather there not doing anything.
We have obtained the requisite materials for making the potion.
Oh, that sounds like success. Is it not success?
You know, it was rough.
You know, maybe I'll ask somebody else.
It's not let's not quibble over corners here. You know, the mission got completed. We have the materials.
Okay, we will stick the pen in it for later. Yeah. And she goes with you to Mary's room. Yvain?
Yeah.
Where are you?
I imagine when they got back, because she knew it was going to take some time for them to make the potion to wake up Mary. She just went and like just freshened up her appearance a little bit, because she probably looks like a disaster. And then she went downstairs and like very politely asked like one of the servants to like get a tray of like drinks. Could I have a tray of drinks for everyone, including Mary when she wakes up?
Absolutely. And it's a short jaunt to, they have like a side table that they already have like these big carafes of teas and hot water that you could add stuff to, and milk and this kind of thing. And very quickly sets up kind of like tea service basically, with some extras.
And she's gonna take it up to Mary's room just to like pass it out while they're waiting on her to wake up. But she does have a cup for Mary as well.
Okay. That is so sweet. All right, so most of you, except for Argus, are all up there. As you go, you made a medicine check. What was it? Remind me.
15.
15. As you look at her, you realize that, oh my goodness, has this petrification gotten way worse? It originally was down the side of her neck and that entire right arm. Now, pretty much everything below the neck is stone. And parts of like her ears and the corners of her eyes are starting to flake and pale and kind of turn that marbly kind of shape. It looks pretty grim. You realize this is an act now kind of moment.
Mm-hmm. So Otis is going to realize there's no time, prop Mary up the best he can, and slowly pour the potion down her throat.
Okay. With 15, I think you'll know. She doesn't need to drink it, right? Because if you had an entire statue, you wouldn't be able to make them drink it. There would be no way to get past these solid stone lips. But you do notice kind of like as you uncork it, a drop falls, and where it falls, the skin immediately begins to change. And so you think, if you put it like maybe on the shoulders, on the neck, maybe on the knee or something, that it will spread out from there and eventually have effect. It will take an entire portion of the potion, like one dose, but you can kind of just put small amounts like on joints and stuff, and it will do itself, basically.
Otis will actually hand the potion, once he realizes that, he'll hand the potion off to Yvain and be like, I don't think I should do this pot.
I feel like it takes her like a few seconds to realize why, and she's like, no, I don't believe that would be proper. and she'll go ahead and apply the potion just to so very gently, trying to be respectful.
And it's super interesting because like when you discovered her before, you kind of felt the arm and it felt just like stone. But when you have the potion kind of like as you're applying it, it's an immediate change. Like it's almost like wiping away like a thick layer of dust or something. Like you move, and as your fingers move, where they touched and where this potion starts to drip and run down, there's nothing behind it except for Miri. It's the craziest thing. Like she looks entirely fully stone, and then like this, like the second it goes, it's just, and it does spread from where you've done it in kind of this how do you explain that? Like radiating outward from where you apply it. So you apply it, to both shoulders, to the knees, maybe up around her neck and ears, kind of where it started. And from those positions, it starts radiating through her body. And it's a fairly quick change. You think that this was probably a pretty potent brewing of it, despite taking a little bit extra time. And it is a rapid effect that is happening. And it takes you about 10 minutes of kind of sitting and sipping when you notice Miri's eyes start to flicker. Miri, you are in a bed. You kind of blearily open eyes, and it feels like you've been in bed forever. You feel very stiff, kind of sore, but not any pain, just like you slept wrong. And you kind of turn your head, and you see everyone you know staring at you.
Otis has a big stupid grin.
Yvain kind of like slides behind Otis and kind of like hip bumps him to push him closer to the bed.
What you do that for? He's not mad. He just doesn't get it.
You know, you should check on her.
She look better.
Why is everybody in my room?
Are you okay?
Tired.
And as Miri asks, why is everyone here? And Micah says, are you okay? We're going to stop here and take a quick break. All right. So we're all in Miri's room, sans Ardris. Kellen, you're fairly aware of Ben, generally speaking. You see them kind of falter just a little bit and brace a hand against the wall and frown, and then kind of look at everyone and sneak out the door. Obviously, they didn't sneak. It was more of just kind of a generally trying to get out of the way. You know that they have a place that they can stay here in the in Ardris's home, so you don't think that they just left the room based on kind of just what you saw them do. Jorgen looks so incredibly happy and thrilled, as does Elliot, who was napping in the corner and, like, based on everything that just happened, has woken up to a very cool sight of Miri being okay. Well, I want to drop it back over to you guys. Is there any conversations you'd like to have?
Micah is going to give Miri a huge hug. Like, I'm glad you're back.
I'm glad I'm back too, Micah. I'm back from what? Exactly?
You were stoned.
I don't feel like I was stoned. Well, maybe I do.
Leave us. You was petrified.
We went to a place and fought a snake lady to save you.
You fought a snake lady for me?
Yeah, lady with snakes in her head.
All of y'all did that? Miri will tear up.
What you crying for?
I didn't mean to make so much trouble for everybody.
Oh, it's okay. We all go through things. So I'm glad I could help. And they'll take their little finger and try to wipe one of the tears away from your cheeks.
Just sniffling. I'm glad I was able to be back so I could thank you all.
Yvain is very
you're okay.
Yvain is very trying to discreetly slip her a handkerchief.
Actually, I think there were two Medusas. There were two snake ladies, rather. But we would have fought a dozen more to bring you back.
Medusa.
That's what them things is called. I don't remember any of those ladies back home.
But I'm tired. I'm going to rest. I used a lot.
Please don't let me keep you in here. Go rest, everybody. Go.
I do what I want.
And they'll
You
get,
especially, Otis.
they'll
You
give,
can tell Otis looks worse for wear too.
oh yeah, they'll give Mary a huge hug and then head over to their room and pretty much rest up for the night.
Yeah, Yvain's gonna head to her room, but she's gonna be like, "Oh, I brought up a tray of tea in case you were thirsty. It is good to see that you are awake."
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Yvain. She ain't so bad, Mary. She healed me.
But
Well, I told y'all she had the string.
it is just my job to heal people. And she's just gonna like walk and just muttering like that. She's like, well, I couldn't leave him in. Like, I don't know what's going. I'm going to bed.
Aaron, the person, wants to tear up just hearing Mary's voice again. It's so good to have you back.
I miss Mary.
But since I can't hug Mary, Pyrea will. So she, when Kellen makes the very nice little thing, she kind of gives him a half hug on the side and then rushes forward and pulls you into a really firm hug. Like it would hurt if you had more feeling maybe, but like instead it feels very nice. And she just holds it. She's like,
I miss you too. Yes.
Yeah, you're absolutely never doing that again, right?
I hope not. I don't want to make this a common thing.
Yeah, I mean, better leave it to the statues. But hey, Drogon read to you the whole time, so maybe you, I don't know, maybe it's like you studied or something. Maybe you got some. I don't know what he was reading. Honestly, I kind of put me to sleep, but maybe you got something out of it.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Drogon really wanted you back. He was super worried, almost as worried as, and then Kellen goes, and then shuts his mouth. Like he's realized he is not supposed to say what he was about to say.
And Pyrea swoops in and is like, almost as worried as Kellen was. You should have seen him. He was just so worried about you. And he was like, we gotta go and do all the stuff. He was pretty worried.
You were worried about me, Kellen?
He puts on like a pouting face for a second. And he's like, yeah, I guess I was.
Aw. We call you the Prince of Lightness now.
Hey, watch this.
Oh, this is sniggering to himself.
And Kellen goes into his spell component pouch and pulls a couple of powders, cobbles them together, and then with his artificer feature to make little slightly magical knickknacks, he's gonna make a glitter bomb and throw it.
Oh god.
Okay, glitter does not exist in my world, but I respect it so much. Right, it will be a multicolored sand bomb. But yes, absolutely, for sure, it happens. And you definitely catch Pyrea in the explosion of this, as well as literally everything else around you, because that's just what happens. It's not like a large amount of glitter; it's just a little bit, but it's enough that you're going to be finding glitter for days.
I feel like I got some of that in my eyes.
Oh my gosh, that was super cool, Callum. Let me tell you. Do you know how hard it is to take care of my hair?
I usually just wear my hair with that sort of lightly tousled, just got out of bed look, and it kind of works. So
when he doesn't wash his hair, it gets kind of greasy and it stays in place.
I just thought that Miri might enjoy a little trick.
It was very nice.
Pyrea comes up to you and she's like, yeah, no, it was a super cool trick. You did a great job. And she tousles your hair, and as she does, she leaves streaks of glitter in it from where she caught it. And so she's like, yep.
He looks her straight in the eye.
Super cool.
Grins and casts prestidigitation on himself to clean his hair.
Let me see what she was supposed to do.
Miri's gonna look around the room first to see who's there. It's where's Argis?
Oh, I don't know. Where's Argis, Kellen?
Did he make it? Is he dead?
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's here. Well, and then he looks around realizing that Ardris is clearly not here. And he's like, he came back with us? Do you want to go find him? Maybe Pyrea and I can go find him? You should probably rest, honestly, Miri.
You do feel exhausted, Miri.
I mean, I'm going to sleep, yes, but I mean, I would like to know that Ardris is okay.
Yeah, but like, do you want us to check, or do you want to? Okay, let's go do that. Let's go.
I'm gonna make sure Kellen like actually comes back and doesn't get into a fight with Ardris. So, 1 second.
What did I miss?
So you guys head downstairs. Ardris, in the meantime, you have received a message in your head, and you hear a very familiar voice to you that goes. Well, I had someone. I didn't have someone. I cast sending and did not get a response. I think, and the message cuts off because she did the whole rephrase thing. So you've got 25 words.
If she did not contact you, then I will have to go and search for her. It is not normal, but come speak with me for a moment.
And you get another message in your head that says, I'm on my way. I should let you know I have other matters to discuss with you as well.
And I assume that those matters are not entirely pleasant.
You do not get a message again for that one.
Archers will take out the sword of the lady. The Greek German sounding sword.
Saint Justicia.
Yes.
Spyhanda.
To distract himself, he will continue the attunement process just to keep himself calm.
Okay. Well, we're going to get to that because about 10 minutes in, you're going to get interrupted. Where are you doing this?
The main,
like, are you just
not the kitchen, not the eating place, but like the main foyer?
Sure. So you're pretty easy to be seen from downstairs as you're kind of meditating with the sword across your legs. Kellen and Pyrea comes down, and you both see, I guess we both see, Ardris there meditating with the sword. Kind of looks busy.
He looks super busy. I kind of don't want to bother him. I mean, Miri just wanted to know he was safe, right? We could just be like, yeah, he's safe. He's meditating with the weapon.
Kind of feels bad, though, right? Like
maybe I should rephrase that, actually. He's attuning to magical item. Maybe not holding a weapon. That sounds...
I can hear the both of you. Is there something you need?
Good. So sorry, Ardris. I was trying to be so quiet. Oops.
Yeah. Miri's awake. She was wondering where you were. We came looking for you.
It is wonderful. I'm glad she's doing well. If there's anything that she needs, please send the workers will ensure that she has it. Is there anything else?
Yeah. Do you need help with anything? Should we I don't know, clean or something before I pass out? Because that's coming soon, I think.
No. Don't believe there's anything that you all can do, so avoid causing any more damage to the house. I will have someone visiting me soon. Anyway, I will need to be leaving here very shortly, so do not cause any trouble in my absence.
Wait, where are you going?
What, you're leaving?
I am. There is...
We've kind of had
just come up.
Kind of had a pretty big day. I mean, I don't culturally speak, I don't really understand the elf thing, but you should probably chill and rest. Yeah?
I do not have time for that. It appears that my mother may be missing, and someone has to go and take care of that, and my father is not here.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Who? I guess I'll go find Otis and Micah, and probably shouldn't ask Miri though, right? Like, okay, hold on. Pyrea starts to jet up the stairs.
So, like, I just, Ardris, we're friends, right, buddy?
Sure.
Okay. I don't want to sound like alarmist, but just to clarify the series of events. Recently, your father marched to war, thus leaving your home less defended, and now your mother is missing. Is that the series of facts of the events that have occurred?
It is.
We should probably go with you, man. That sounds pretty not cool.
I appreciate the thought. I do. It appears that our enemies have outmaneuvered us at every turn. However, I will not have the time to protect very enterprising young people like yourselves. And I have a feeling that this is not going to be pleasant or good.
Yeah, but see, here's the issue. I would love to respect your wishes and all. If you want to incite that, check that, you can. He's like, I would love to respect your wishes and all. But here's the thing. I'm pretty sure that, like, if something were to happen to you, Micah would be like, yo, we got to go get him anyway. So, like, I'm not saying that something will happen to you, but, like, if it did, we'd just be marching off after you anyway. So if you think about it, it is really just more efficient that just in case we go, just in case.
Otis, Pyrea, like, slams into your room. Is your door locked or unlocked?
It's unlocked.
Okay, it slams open the way that you often treat stores, and she comes to you. I don't know. I guess you're getting ready for bed, and she's like, "Okay, sorry to interrupt. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. You need to go downstairs." So, well, okay. So, like, I guess Ardris's mom is like hurt or something. I don't know exactly what's going on, but he's trying to go off by himself and do stuff. Gotta go. And then she leaves the room again.
Otis rolls right back over.
You do not feel a peck on your shoulder.
Oh, that's cruel. And Otis is actually going to say out loud, what? And then remembers that, Nazareth isn't there, per se.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, if it's 10 minutes that went by, he would have had time to ritual summon, but he wouldn't know to do that. But so he's just going to try and roll over and try to sleep again because he's hard-headed.
Micah, your door, is it locked or unlocked? Didn't really need to in your home, yeah.
Well, also, you don't, like, rest, really, other than just chilling. So, like, there's no, like, oh, I'm going to go sleep now. I need to lock the door.
Your door slams open. Pyrea is there. Ardris and Kellen, y'all want to say, like, a couple more things?
With all due respect, I will not prevent you from doing as you please, and I don't have the energy to argue with you about it.
That's like the worst permission ever, but it seems like permission. I'm good with that.
Micah, you don't understand. You've got to, I think that maybe Ardris needs your help. Downstairs. Oh, yeah. Sorry for coming without knocking. And she leaves, and you see her go to the door where Bim would be. And she does not throw that one open. Instead, there's a very timid, knock. Are you staying or are you going downstairs? You. Okay. You head downstairs. Otis is not heading downstairs. So it's about this time in your conversation, Kellen and Ardris, that you see Micah come downstairs.
Well, I don't have a lot of detail, but as far as I can understand, it seems like Ardris's mother may be missing, and he was like, I need to go after her. And I was like, we should probably come with, because if something happens to you, Micah will demand that we come after you to help and save you. And I was like, we should short circuit that. And he said, you can do what you want to. And it actually kind of sounded like a more proper, oh, yeah, that's basically it. We're like,
yes, unfortunately, it appears that she is unresponsive at the moment. I have to leave as soon as possible, but you are more than welcome to rest as long as you need. I have arranged for you all to receive any food or anything you need for your stay in the city. Of course, I'm tired, but this is life, my friend. Oh, there's no wait for us to be ready before it gives us challenges.
Miri, Pyrea is standing in the doorway. Jorgen and Elliot have kind of gathered up their stuff and bid you farewell and a good night's rest. And they're staying just the next door over. It was an empty room, and they have moved into it specifically to be close by. So they're saying, "Hey, listen, if you need us, we are here." And doing the whole thing. And we're like, "No, seriously, if you need anything at all, we're just. I mean, honestly, you yell loud enough, I'm sure we'll hear it."
I think I'll be okay. Pay?
Ardris is fine. He's just downstairs.
Why are you saying it kind of?
Because I absolutely hate lying to you, but I don't want to make things really difficult for you, because you literally just woke up and you have to be exhausted. But Ardris is really upset. I think something happened to his mom.
Well, then I can't. Okay. Mary's gonna get out of the bed.
I don't know if you ought to do that, Mary. You probably need to rest.
They all just risked their lives out there fighting a snake lady for me. This is the least I can do right now, is to go down there and see what's wrong.
I don't think he's gonna listen to any of us. He seems pretty set on going now.
Well,
And she kind of like puts an arm under you, like to put your arm across her shoulder so she can support you up.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, if you're gonna go, then at least let me help you.
Then let's go see if we can convince him to stay at least a day, or we sleep in like a carriage or something.
Something. Oh, this is a bad idea. Okay. Drogon and Elliot are concerned, so they also head up. So ends up literally everyone is downstairs except for Otis and Ben. Audrey, what's this about y'all leaving tonight?
As said before, there appears to have been a few issues that demanded my attention, so I will be departing soon. I have arranged for you all to have everything that you need delivered here, but unfortunately this cannot wait.
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage.
Uh-oh.
What? Oh, well,
Assassination attempt.
7. So I rolled a 10, but would a 14 succeed?
It would not.
Okay, well then I was.
Okay, as you say, well, I have to go anyway. You have to do. Drogon moves quickly. He moves really quickly, and he ends up directly in front of you with the flat of his, the side of his hand at your throat. Super quick. And he holds it for just a second as he catches your eye and then drops his hand and he goes, I have a little bit of experience with staying safe when people have it out for you. And I'll tell you that there were many times that just exhaustion alone was about what it would have taken. If your family is... I'm not sure the whole scope of what's going on. I don't understand where your mom is or what's going on, but if you think there's some sort of threat, you gotta be able to face it, or else what's the point of going? Are you able to face it?
I will choose not to interpret that as a threat. And I don't know. My mother stopped responding to me over a day ago, but I was too busy taking care of other issues to properly assess the situation, which means I'm already behind. Of course, I would rather prefer to wait until I was at my strongest, but if I wait and I am too late, then that would be because I hesitated.
And what happens if you rush and you're unsuccessful because you didn't let yourself rest?
Yes, but we just spent several hours trekking through a forest, not too concerned about how long it would take for us to return safely or not.
When's the last time you tranced?
Don't recall. Yesterday.
You were rolling with exhaustion because you were over 24 hours from the last time you tranced.
It is of no importance.
Ardris, I've seen you fight, and I know that there's no way I would have gotten that close if you'd been in your right mind. If you're gonna go, you gotta come up with a way to mitigate the risks, is what I'm trying to say. You gotta come up with a way that your tiredness isn't going to get you killed because you can't do anything to save anybody if you're dead.
I appreciate your concern, but for now I still have other things to take care of. But I will take your advice into consideration.
Over Drogon's shoulders, you see your chief of staff. Supernaturally, he always knows what's going on, sort of, head towards the door. You didn't hear a doorbell or anything, but you see him stand and hit the door. And a few moments later, he comes back through, and you see Lady Vimpina directly behind him.
Speaking of which, excuse me.
Alan, various guests.
Thank you for coming on such a short notice.
Always.
Unfortunately, I don't believe there will be much time to stand on ceremony. Is there any information you can provide to me?
I have a couple of different things to speak to you about. Would you prefer this to be a private conversation?
No, it is fine. You may speak freely in front of them.
Okay. Let's start with your mother. I personally attempted to send to her. When she did not respond, I summoned a very trusted individual in order to scry. What she saw is she did not know the location. I imagine I do not know the location. But she takes kind of a moment to like really look at you, to look at the state you're in, and then just kind of gives a little nod of understanding. It's like, what she saw was a statue, the likeness of which matches Lady Alara. I also have received word from some of our battle healers who have been sent back due to injury that the ongoing conflict in the Gorgon Empire is extensive. I think it is going as well as it maybe could. But and she again kind of like looks at everyone and then leans in to speak to you a little bit softer. I've heard a lot of rumors, Audrus. We know that Theron Tamiel has always enjoyed an interesting position among the other nations. And other nations are beginning to decide where they fall. It's getting a little bit messy. Then she kind of straightens back up.
Was your ally able to scry on my father as well?
I did not request it. I apologize. I was focused on your mother, actually. It did not come to my...
That is fine, of course. I did not request it. Well, it appears that things were more serious than I was aware. Do you know who's still in the city?
I'm sorry?
Do you know who's in the city of note?
I have not recently done a head count, but I think that Obviously, the monarch is not vacating anytime soon. There are quite a few, quite a few players that are keeping close. Was there someone in specific you were looking for?
No. Well, everyone, I believe it's time for you all to go and take a bit of a rest. There are some things I need to consult. It appears that the world has forgotten just how terrifying the Antamia can be when we are serious. Thank you, of course. Of course. But dear, would you mind taking care of things here for me? I won't leave until the morning, but it appears I won't be here for a little while.
I understand, although I think it might take a little more discussion about how I can best fulfill that role.
Feeling it would be a long night.
I have already rested. And she kind of gives you a very critical look, like obviously saying, but you haven't.
We can meet in a few hours to discuss exactly how things are shaping up. I assure you, I will not leave before then.
She looks ponderous for a little bit and is like, all right, I'll be in your study. And heads up the stairs knowing exactly where she's going. And ends up on the, not the first, sorry, American second floor, but third floor.
Is there anything the rest of you need?
Callan, Yvain?
Someone actually get Yvain because she went to bed.
Oh,
Anything.
I think, no.
Sorry, you didn't.
No, I don't think Pyrie even thought to do it, actually. Because Yvain is new-ish. Like, you're not school friends, you know what I mean?
The girl was also in panic mode.
Yeah, she was for sure in panic mode. But do you think that you were already asleep or were you getting ready to sleep?
Knowing the day she had, she probably just passed out.
Okay. Downstairs, Perry goes, I forgot Yvain. We're supposed to get her, right?
Whom?
Kellen, come on. She's your friend. I was just trying to be.
What are you talking about?
You need sleep.
Shenanigans.
You need sleep.
No, like, we've just been discussing this. We need to help Argis's mom.
And in order to help Argis's mom, we sleep.
I don't think that's come up at all.
Argis literally just said, all right, Al, everyone, go get some rest. I was paying attention.
Oh,
you
God, we should
attention.
sleep. Oh, man. Oh, I completely missed that.
Super not cool that Argis's opinion was higher ranked than mine, but okay. We'll just add that as an addendum to a future conversation.
I like to think that Mary is still like just looking between both of them as she is with Perry. It's like, you guys need to like really talk about this stuff.
I experienced being petrified.
What?
Yep.
Okay,
That was a tactic Loom taught me. It's called misdirection.
you see, like, her head just kind of goes down and, like, her eyes are pretty wide and she's just, ends up closing them and just focuses on breathing for a bit.
That misdirection thing was supposed to be in my head. Goodness gracious. Oh, dear.
You all are being quite amusing. However,
Oh, God, Argus is still here.
other things to deal with.
I love that, like, Kellen apparently, via exhaustion, just loses not only keen mind, just regular mind. Kellen just goes straight to, like, I have no idea what's going on around me, and zero filter. Okay, well, I think all the good little kids who recently have experienced petrification and looks hard at both of you are going to bed right now.
I think everybody who is tired, who just went to the cave or whatever, you fought snake ladies, we all should go to bed.
Okay, I'm literally the only person who's not either been in a cave encounter or petrified. We're getting into semantics. I just really need everyone to go to bed. Just go to sleep. Thanks.
Okay, so we should talk about the technicals of how, as I understand the situation, there were two snake ladies, but I fought one of them, and the others fought one of them, and the only one who actually fought both of them, as I understand the sequence of events, is Bim. That's a later thing.
Who is that?
What? Our professor? You don't remember?
Please go now.
Okay, morning breakfast recap. Everybody, all right? Breakfast recap, hash it all out. But let's go.
Okay.
Who's going to make sure? And she points to Argus. You go to bed.
I do not sleep. I have to finish a meeting, so I will not be leaving anytime.
Well, I know you don't sleep. You just kind of sit there in the corner and just look off, but you are going to rest.
I will be resting.
Mary's gonna like look over at Lady Vampina. You make sure he goes to bed. Or
Lady Vampina is not there. She.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Never mind.
You look around for her, and she's unfortunately not there.
Who would be like the next authority, like quote unquote authority figure?
Drogon is still around.
Okay. Drogon, make sure he goes to bed. Hold him in your arms or something.
I'll just. I'll watch over him. It'll be all right, Mary.
Thank you.
All right. Good night. I think Pyrea is going to take you to your room, and then after she kind of gets you sorted, she's like, "So, sleepover?"
Please.
Sleeping ranges Sora. That was easy enough.
There we go.
And do me a favor, if you would.
I learned a long time ago to never say yes until you know what the favor is.
I think I'm going to need my rest tomorrow. So inevitably, when we are about to go to sleep, I'm going to start chattering away about some random theory about something to try to avoid actually having to go to sleep. Would you just tell me to go to bed? Just shut me up. Because
hey, Colin, go to bed.
The number of Medusa.
Colin,
really
you're already doing it. Go to bed. Go to bed. And if you do try to do this, she will end up taking out the book that she was drooling to earlier and starting to also read aloud from it, hoping to distract the both of you into mind-numbing sleep.
He goes, "Oh, wow, that book's really pleasant. I like the sound of your voice. I'd love to."
She does not make it much longer than you did. So everyone's going to bed. Mary, you go to bed.
Yes.
Ardris, what do you do?
I'm just going to go to study, but he will do several things after resting for 4 hours. He will finish doing the sword thing, and then he will go look for and try and learn as many of his father's spells as possible.
Okay. So you head up to your study. Lady Vinfina is there, and she seems very at home in this space. She has out. She's pulled out like a book and seems to be doing some writing. Drogon does just kind of watch you go up, and once he's satisfied that you're not going out of the building, that's good enough for him, and he goes back to his room. You see her there. She gives you kind of just a barely half paying attention wave as she goes back to what she's working on. So your first order of business is to trance?
Yes.
Okay. I think the trance comes a little bit easier for you knowing that Lady Vinvina is in the room. There is someone there that has your back, that knows you well enough to be able to understand kind of what's going on a level that, as much as your friends are close to you in some ways, there are some things that they can't understand right now. And so she understands. I mean, she understands a lot of the political stuff and the bonds of duty and kind of obligation and face, and there's a lot that she just natively understands based on her own upbringing. And so you find yourself slipping into trance pretty quickly. And while you are slipping into trance, well, you tell me, what does trance look like for you?
This time, as he is kind of fading, he begins to catalog all the things that are important to him and the things he does not want to lose in the upcoming conflicts. Just kind of meditates on that for a while.
I think while you're listing things that are important to you, you obviously start with the big ones, right? You've got your family, you've got kind of your sense of self and who you want to be and your prowess and all this kind of stuff that keeps going up. But you get, after some time, you start getting more granular, right? More into the little things that you don't want to lose. And the little things that are important to you. And you're considering yourself and your evolution as a person and as a mage. And you remember in your moment of need, when you needed to cast Sending, and you had your hand on that book. And it kind of, it dwells in your mind for a little bit. And you think about how you had that moment where you were trying to meditate with a sword briefly before you got interrupted. And you're kind of thinking about you haven't looked at the book in a while, but you know that it is important based on what benefits you receive. You're thinking about the conversations you've had with the book. And I think that's kind of where your trance terminates, right? You've thought of all the big stuff and all of the kind of what motivates you as a person. And it culminates on you have a book and you have a sword, and both of these things seem like they can help you protect the things most important in your life.
Once his trance ends, he will look for that book for a moment and open it to the last page. Mm-hmm. And we'll see if there's anything there.
Okay. When you open the book, you go past the diagrams to kind of this space where there's been some writing and you've written back and forth. And there is already something written when you open it up. It says, "You came back."
I did. That.
I have waited so long.
He'll pause for a minute and then he will write, "Do I have the ability to keep those 3 people safe?" referring to his mother, his father, and Lady Venfina.
There's a little bit of pause, and as it is written, like you can see kind of the pen strokes as the letters are formed, and you are aware that your mind is kind of translating this for you as it is being written. And it says, I gave everything to keep everyone safe. There are many different types of safety and many ways to lose.
I will pay whatever price to keep them safe, but I would rather see the rest of the wood burn than to lose them.
Ooh. Oh, okay, this is gonna be cool. You say that, and there's a moment where your own words brighten a little bit and glow and then fade. And the whole page wipes, and there's a question up at the top that said, what would you give?
Everything.
What would you give?
Everything.
One more time. What would you give?
He hesitates for a moment, not entirely understanding.
Go ahead.
I want to understand. Does Ardris believe he is being tricked into saying something 3 times?
Make an insight check.
$14.
14 is not bad. So you know that this is the diary of Saint Justicia. You've communicated with it before. And in the past, the information that has been given to you has always been leading to one certain goal, which is the protection of the continent and the world from the Arasinosi, from the strife. Looking at the message that you keep getting back, you don't feel like this is a trick. You feel like you need to change your answer.
But name your price.
The page wipes again with blank. And up at the top, you see it's written in very small letters. There are many who say they would give everything, and they do not know what that means.
I understand, but I will give whatever it is that I am needed to give, except for their lives and the children's lives.
Take my sword.
Yes?
So you go and get it? You pick it up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you pick it up, from the exterior, what it looks like is you pass out. Lady Venfina, you can't see or hear any of this, but Lady Venfina immediately rushes over as you just suddenly fall unconscious. What you see, however, is a shifting scene where you are no longer in your study. You're now standing on this mountaintop, looking down on the continent, and you can see impossibly far. Like this is not like, oh, I'm standing on a mountain and I can see to the horizon. You can see impossibly far. And you can feel the weight of the sword in your hand and it says you hear a voice in your head, a woman's voice speaking Orcish, which you somehow understand. And it says, she says, hold on, I gotta look at my notes to make sure I get this right.
I love that cat. Perfect timing.
She says, meow.
Cat is also here. They have time means nothing to cats.
Both and neither is what that is. The cat is both and neither. You hold the sword in your hand, and you get a series of questions. So the first question is, would you give your fear? Before you answer, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
19, so 23 total.
You feel this pulse of fear, and just as you feel it kind of like flow into you, you allow it to ebb through you back into the sword. Will you give your fear?
Yes.
Will you give your fury? You feel this spike of wrath and anger that it feels like a visceral physical pain, like someone has driven like an ice pick into your head. I need you to make an intelligence saving throw.
Oh, you slick, Aaron. You slick.
19.
Oh my goodness! Again, this wave of rage and anger and hatred and vitriol kind of courses through you, and instead of embracing it or holding onto it or resisting it even, you just allow it to flow, and it flows back into the pommel where you are tightly gripping the sword. You hear the third question. Will you give your grief? And you feel the weight of what it would be like to lose those three people, to lose these kids that you've kind of created into a found family, to lose your nation, to lose your place of respect and power, to lose your own mind. You feel the crashing weight of grief on you. I need a charisma saving throw.
Oh boy, that one. 9. I'm going to boost it to 13.
13. The grief is enough to drive you to your knees. And for a moment, it feels like it's going to consume you whole, and there's not going to be anything left to give. But you allow yourself to truly feel it, to feel what it would be like to have your family perish and to be able to do nothing, to lose yourself. And you allow it back into the sword. Would you give your cowardice? And I'm going to need a dexterity save.
Why do you? Yes. 18, and I will use Arcane Deflection to boost that to 22.
Whew. Whew. That is intense. So you feel yourself relive every single time you flinched from something. You feel your legs burn with every single time you've ran. And there is a confidence that is inbuilt in you that is able to radically accept that as a normal thing to feel in those moments. And a normal response to have. And you seed that one easily back into the sword. You hear, would you give me your envy? Sorry, would you give me your envy? And I need a charisma saving throw.
Dude, that one's a 9, 11 plus. I guess I used to Arcane Deflection. Do these count as separate turns, each of the rolls?
Yeah.
Okay, then Arcane Deflection to 15.
Very nice. You think about every single time you've been at a ball or a dignitary's function and you've been snubbed. And every single time people have looked to you for leadership and you didn't want it. Every single time you've had to make choices that you didn't want to be your choice to make. And how much you wish that you could have this or that, or the freedom to choose in many cases because the choice has already been made for you. And you again, from on your knees where that grief has driven you, you plant the blade down into the ground and wrap both hands around the pommel, and it flows back into the sword. Next, you hear, "Would you give me your greed?" And I need a Constitution saving throw.
Yo, 19 plus 6, 25.
This is ridiculous.
Arcade affection, 29. Goodness.
You feel every time you've been hungry and every time you've eaten to excess, every time you've felt lack and want and need, and every time you've had more than you knew what to do with. You feel both the lack, like that famine, and also like the greed of wanting more than you could possibly need. And you again release that. You allow it to pass through you down into the sword. And you hear, for a final time, "Would you give your despair?" And I need a strength saving throw.
Come on. Wizard. They rolled, so with Arcane Affection, 13.
Mm-hmm. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. All right. The weight of despair is immense, right? It's more than grief. It is a lack of hope. It's a kind of a ceding to the events that are, and not seeking change and not seeking anything more than maybe survival, and even that giving over into the worst that you feel in the moment. And it comes the closest to overpowering you. And it's kind of like an internal fire that burns away pretty much all of who you are. And so you're left with like the real, true Ardris. You hear the sword say, "Who are you?"
He thinks about it for a moment, and then, with more confidence than normal, even, "I'm Argus, friend, soldier, husband, and a person."
You feel the sword respond to that. As you confidently state on this mountaintop, "I am Ardris." You feel this bond form with this sword. And as you, in your physical body, open your eyes, you can see you are no longer laying on the ground. You're kind of hovering above it with the sword stretched out in your hand. A Zweihander, a much too big for your normal capacity and strength, much less, is in one hand extended outwards. I'm going to send you some juicy details about what all that means, but you are attuned to this sword. You're also a level up because you have successfully taken your long rest, and everyone is leveling after the cave adventures. So as you blink your way back to a newfound power and begin to set yourself on the course that will take you to seeing the reality of your family and your loved ones safe. That's what we'll call this session today.